All right, I'm going to be reviewing some products live. I have never seen these before, so I'm going to be looking with fresh eyes and give some honest feedback and reactions about these landing pages. I'll spend about 5 minutes on each one. I might do 10 today. I have no idea which products are even going to be pulled into my queue. So let's see how it goes. Here is the first product, Talon. Organize, search, and chat with your ex bookmarks. Interesting. I think I know what this is from that hero text. Okay, read faster, organize clearly, ask your saved posts, turn saved X posts into a calm workflow, process the inbox, label what matters, archive finish ideas, and come back later with cited answers. No email or password. Your bookmarks stay private. No posting permission. Disconnect anytime. I wonder how that works. I wonder how bookmarks stay private. And no email or password. No posting permission. Okay. Get started. View sample library. No posting permission. Talon only asks for the permissions needed to read and organize your bookmarks. We do not post, like, follow, or DM from your account. NativeX. Basic saving, folders, free tags, folders, notes, and search. Okay. Everything you need to organize saved posts. Keep the capture flow simple. Unread saves land in the inbox. Okay. Process saves like email. Chat with the archive you already saved. Why do you want to chat with it? I wonder. The assistant answers from your bookmarks, keep citations attached, and lets you jump back into Talon. It might be good to show some examples. Okay, what Hermes tips and tweaks I have in my bookmarks. Yeah, it's cool that I guess this is an example. It would be cool to show additional examples and use cases for why someone might want to chat with their bookmarks. I'm sure there's certain problems this solves or use cases where this is really valuable. It's just not immediately obvious because this feels like a totally new product that is not common. A lot of people haven't really engaged with something like this. So it might help to just show, hey, these are the things you can do. These are the problems you can now solve because of this tool. Show those examples. A calmer way to see your saved knowledge grow. Calmer. Why calmer? Dashboard is available from the sidebar when you want a snapshot. Choose how Talon should work for you. Okay. FAQ, start with the inbox. All right. I saw this view sample library. So let's see that. Okay, I've clicked the button view sample library. It seems to be loading for a long time and not doing anything. Okay, it eventually took me to this inbox. So it eventually worked. It just was slow. So that's something to potentially fix. Some people might feel like the button's just broken and leave. All right, inbox. So this, feels like a product with a lot of depth. I think it's awesome that you're letting people jump right into the product and just use it. No sign up required. I think that's really good. It definitely feels like it has a lot of depth. Like it's not, it's not immediately obvious like where I should start or what the right expected workflow is. That's okay. I'm just mentioning it. It sort of feels like an inbox, I guess, and maybe that's the way you designed it. It sort of feels almost like a mail inbox. So let's see some of the content here. So I guess these are things I have bookmarked. Launch pricing thread, a thread about packaging free and paid tiers without hiding the real value. 5 tweets. Okay, so it's keeping track of the red status. There's folders, there's tags. Are tags labels, or those different things? I think there was mention of tags on the landing page, and here they're potentially called labels. if those are the same thing, I would consider consolidating the terminology just to avoid confusion. Bookmarks 48. So I'm not understanding, like, is this a single bookmark? And if so, why does it say 48 bookmarks here? And why are there other tweets associated? Are these replies to this bookmark? Are there 5 replies? Okay, it says replies here and it says 4. So there's a lot of like info and context here, and I'm not totally sure what all of these mean. Bookmarks 48. Okay, maybe that's how many people have bookmarked this post. Maybe that's what's going on. And if so, I would consider using similar iconography as X, like for the reposts, the replies, the likes, the bookmarks. I'm pretty sure X has iconography that they consistently use for that stuff, and you might want to just echo that here, and that could help clarify what you're visualizing. Okay, so there's nothing to click on. Okay, I could click on the title, and this takes me to a detail page. Interesting. Launch pricing thread. Saved because it directly supports the Talon launch narrative. Use the source as launch for your site and product. 5 tweets. Okay. I would consider. Okay, so you probably want. I mean, this is a very small knit UI thing, but you probably want your back button here to have some sort of background so that it does not impede and overlap with other text and UI elements underneath. Okay, so there's feedback I can probably give about the detail page, but I won't do that. Okay, going back to library is taking long, which is like the first time I went to the library, it took a very long time to load also. So it seems like this is a slow loading page, and you want this to be pretty snappy. Let me refresh it and see what's going on here. Okay, I don't see like a huge file being loaded in the background, so it doesn't seem like there's a single asset slowing down the page. But let me see the time. Okay. Yeah, just the bookmarks route itself took about 8 seconds to finish loading. So something about that bookmarks route is slow. Like maybe there's a query, a database query you've got going or something that's causing that to be slow. Something to look into. Okay, man, I'm going to stop here. I think this is a really good start, really interesting product. I haven't seen anything quite like this yet. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to move on to the next one. All right, here is the next product. I guess it's called getgrave.com. What is Getgrave? What Getgrave is about? The real pain point, promotion, not statistics. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. If that's kind of the line you want to come out with and lead with, the real point, promotion, not statistics. I don't know what that means yet. So let's see. Let me keep reading. GitHub Graveyard is not a showcase of stars and forks. Okay, I know what it's not. I don't yet know what it is. Yes, we display repo data, but the core is different. The Discover feed, a timeline where projects become visible again. Candles, your promotion tool. The more candles a repo gets from the community, the higher it climbs in the feed. 1 USDT equals 1 candle. Send your support to a specific project, boost it in the feed. Okay, so you're sending $1 to projects to show support and boost them in maybe like a repo feed. Promotion, not statistics. Okay, category worlds, graveyard, completed, hidden gems, interactive space where repos with that category come to life on a map, zoom pan, so you're not just looking at basic stats. Okay, having read this entire block of text, I feel like I'm starting to get a sense of what it is. Like it's an index, a collection, a showcase of GitHub repos in which you can pay to support other projects and get them boosted up into the feed, and potentially there's some cool visualizations and categories and things like that. I think like your first couple lines, like the first things that people are going to read when they come here and decide whether or not they want to invest time or just leave, can be more clear and specific about like what is the real pain point that this is solving for people, or the piece of value that it's giving to them. That part is not yet clear. If I had to guess and imagine at this point, I guess this is a way to get visibility on your GitHub projects. I think that's the main thing this is offering people, is like more visibility and engagement with their GitHub projects. And the way you do that, yeah, I'm not totally sure yet. I have to keep reading, but I think this could be more clear. GitHub Graveyard, a place to remember projects, not a verdict, a chance to breathe again or finally start breathing. So I'm wondering what this whole graveyard thing is. Like, these are projects that were sort of abandoned or and now being brought to life. Like, what is that about? A graveyard, a chance to breathe again. I'm not understanding that whole concept. Scan a repository, category worlds. Okay, so like if I go grab a repo of mine, let's see, and I don't really put a lot of stuff on GitHub. Certainly have not put anything there in a long time. Oh no. All right, I'm not going to be able to log in because I can't open my two-factor auth app right now. Let me see if I can find a public one. All right, so I found a repo, an old repo of mine. Let's see, how old is this thing? Last commit was 7 years ago. So I'll put that in here, scan it just to see what this is. And by the way, I love that you're just letting people use your tool or part of your tool right off the bat. No authentication required. That's a good thing to do, so people can immediately start to get a sense of what this does and see the value before they have to sign up and give you their email. Category, unclaimed, candles, 0, sign in to leave your mark. Okay, so I guess this is a call to action to get people to sort of register or claim their repository in GitHub Graveyard. Sign in to leave your mark. But I still don't know why. Like, why do I want to do this? Is it so that I make money from the candles? It's just not clear yet. Okay, so here's GitHub Graveyard, 5 candles. Nothing else has candles yet. And it's like, I'm not really understanding why someone would want to pay to have somebody else's repository like elevated here. Maybe if it's just like the idea is it's like a donation and like a sign of support. I guess I get that. In which case, like, somebody would already have to have like a following and a popular repo for them to get anybody to come here and do that. So I'm still uncertain as to what the main value prop is here, like how you expect people to use this. So yeah, I mean, you could definitely be onto something here. I think the design is unique. Like, I haven't quite seen a design like this in a while. It doesn't come off as like just AI generated slop, although I'm sure you're using AI here. But there's aspects here that just seem, I don't know, unique and compelling. So it's a pretty cool design. All right, I'm going to move on. I hope that was helpful in some way. All right, here is the next product tip journal. Stop wasting time testing AI tools. Find the right one in minutes. Discover top tier AI applications. Read expert community reviews and master modern AI driven publishing workflows. Okay, so I guess this is like an index or directory of AI tools in which the community can leave reviews and ratings, and it helps you find the best tools. But then you also have compare models. So yeah, okay. Browse by business function, writing and content, code and development. Let's see what's in code and development. 135 tools. GitHub Copilot, AI Code, Commodore AI, Software. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here, which is good. What can I do to surface? Okay, there's subcategories within, so I could further narrow down the result set. Okay, so it's sorted by top rated right now. What about most reviewed? So since you're showing ratings and you're letting people sort by reviews, you should probably be showing the number of reviews that each of these have in each of these little product or tool cards. That would be a good thing to show. Looks like I could filter by the pricing model. Let's see, stuff that's totally free. Moogsoft shows continuous availability with automated noise reduction. So you may want to consider showing more of the summary, because taking Moogsoft, for example, AI Ops ensures continuous availability with automated noise reduction via industry-leading. I'm not totally sure what this tool does just by looking at that summary. Continuous availability of my software service, like ensuring uptime of my service. Automated noise reduction of what? Like my logging and my errors? I'm not totally sure. So my point is, maybe you need to show a little bit more in these cards to help people understand without having to click in directly. I guess this is the subcategory, AI DevOps. AI performance testing or test automation. Okay. There's only one test automation tool. So let's see, if I click into a specific tool, here's sort of the tool detail view that you have. I can jump to the website. Let's see if that works. Yep. Testcraft AI launching soon. Okay, so it's not available yet. You've got one test automation tool and it's not available yet. Advanced AI powered tool within testing. Tool facts. Cross-industry pricing model paid. It's heavily on stable internet connection may require. Okay. Let's see what these reviews look like. So let me try to find something. Most reviewed, all subcategories, GitHub Copilot, related tools, reviews. Okay, 10 approved reviews. Extra Reader 7, Extra Reader 12, Reader 1, Extra Reader 27. What are these, these names? Extra Reader. That's a little confusing. If these are real people, you should show their profile name to make this feel real. Speeds up my daily development workflow significantly. The explanations of lazy code blocks are super clear. I've tried several coding there, but this one is the most accurate section. Understand my project context best. Okay. Yeah, so if these are in fact real, they're not coming off real right now. They're all 5 stars. There's no names. Um, you get the idea. Okay, related tools cursor. So on these related tools, seems like you have a nice product logo or image for every tool, but that's not being surfaced in related tools for whatever reason. You probably want to have that as well to keep it consistent. Okay, I could bookmark things. Cool. Like, I get it. I get what this is. I think your hero section is doing a pretty good job of clarifying what it is. What is compare models? Okay. AI models explorer. Okay. Browse taxonomy. This is kind of cool. Okay, makes sense. All right, I think I'm going to end here and move on to the next one. You've done a pretty good job so far. The website is looking nice. I get what it is. So I hope this is helpful in some way. All right, here's the next product. Parlay. Own every pick. The most competitive soccer prediction app around. Create private leagues, go head to head with your friends, and prove you know soccer better than anyone. Okay, got it. Start predicting. Join now. 3 steps, zero friction. Predict the scores. Lock in your scores before every match. Earn points. Build your league. Spin up a group for work, friends, or family in seconds. Climb the ranking. Battle out in your private league and the global ranking of the World Cup. Expert crown. Okay. Built for WhatsApp. Sharing WhatsApp. Sharing X. Ranking live. Cool. Think you know soccer, create my free league. Okay, cool. I mean, I think I understand what it is because I've done similar things for NFL. Let's see if I can start predicting. Okay, create account. Battle name. All right, Tommy. Tommy. You know what? Let's just leave it at that. Pow. Favorite team. You know, I'm not a soccer fan. I really don't know what I'm talking about here. Okay, there's United States. I got worried for a second. Here we go. Tommy McGlynn. New password. Uh, this is interesting. You're just choosing a password for me. And I guess anybody watching this is going to see what this is. Okay, manual. All right, let me put something in here. I am just choosing a password. All right, I hope this is hidden. Here we go. All right. I guess I could have signed up with Google also. What do you want to do first? Create my league, join a league. Create my league. What do you want to do first? The Buddies FC, biz name, create league. It's cool that you're pre-filling stuff for people. I think that's helpful. Activate your league in the venue, print the QR, stick it on the bar, and let customers join on their own. That's a cool feature. You're creating a QR code, letting people join your league this way. You could download a flyer or share it. That's cool. So how do I make a prediction? Let's see. Your league lowdown. 1 player, 0 predictions, worth 10 points. Pick a player. Player of the tournament. Pick the best player of the tournament. Which tournament? I don't know what I'm picking here. Like, what tournament is this? Maybe if I was a soccer fan, I would know immediately, but it's not clear to me. Okay, this is a carousel. All right. Player of the tournament, Golden Boot. Got it. Um, okay. I haven't seen this UI pattern before where you've kind of got a multi-select up at the top, but it doesn't look like a multi-select. It just looks like individual buttons. Typically, these two buttons would be kind of conjoined or grouped together, just to signal to someone like they're mutually exclusive, I guess. Uh, and then I usually don't see it with the carousel indicator on the bottom either, but that's fine. It's a nit. It's a small thing. So what is this? Worth 10 points. Pick the tournament's top scorer. And this one was best player of the tournament, then the top scorer. So what is the difference between those two things? What is the difference between the best player and the top scorer? How is that decided? Um, okay, let's see. And this is a chat. So I guess this is a chat with my league, but I don't know what this is. I don't. Is this like an AI agent in my chat? I'm not sure what that is. Switch pitches. Okay, change to a different league. One player. Tommy latest picks. So how do I make a pick? I want to make a pick just to see what that's like, and I don't see how to do that. Let me go to matches. 0 out of 104 matches predicted. You have 104 pending matches. You can still edit your picks. So let me do that now. Okay, here's one. Is this all World Cup? I guess this is all World Cup, by the way, which is probably a stupid question if you're a fan, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, Group A, Match 1 seems like World Cup. I'll pick Mexico, Korea, Canada, Switzerland, Brazil, Scotland, USA. So making picks is really easy. It seems like the matches are just disappearing after I make a pick. And, someone might want to go back and see what their picks were, or, hey, they made a mistake and they want to make an adjustment. And it's not obvious here how to get back to those picks that you've already made to adjust that. So that's something I would look at. Okay, I'm gonna pause here and move on to the next product. I hope that was helpful for you in some way. All right, here is the next product, Plus Growth. Your leads are ghosting you because nobody's following up. Meet the CRM that never forgets. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's a CRM. I know that. So that part is clear at least. And I think since CRM is such a commonly known acronym, the fact that you can just throw CRM in the hero text, people are going to know that it's a CRM. I think the other stuff here, your leads are ghosting you because nobody's following up. Meet this end. Isn't that what all CRMs, like one of the main things that all CRMs are intended to solve, like to ensure you're able to follow up in a timely manner? So you might want to consider utilizing this hero text, which is like the first thing that most everybody is going to read when they get here. You might want to utilize that to better explain your differentiator or your unique value proposition, right? Like, okay, you could say CRM and we know it's a CRM, but now you're competing with all the other CRMs out there, and your user landing here is immediately going to be wondering, how is this one different? Why should I invest time looking at this and using this? Does it solve a unique problem that I have? Is it specialized for my type of business? Something. So yeah, I would consider that and potentially reword this. Okay, Plus Growth is a CRM that works for you. AI agents follow up, qualify, and close deals even while you sleep. No lead left behind ever. Okay. So there it's in this small, subtle subtext is starting to explain some of what might potentially be a differentiator for this CRM. I guess it's the automation. You don't need to say AI because everything has AI now, and you don't necessarily need to say that. But the fact that it is automated is valuable. Cool. So let's see. Start a trial. See interactive demo. Let's see the demo. Okay. So you just drop people right into a demo, which I think is cool. I didn't have to sign up, and I can see what the product is like. There's a lot here. There's a lot going on. It's not immediately clear where to start. Let's see. Discover the features. Add your first contact. Create your first deal. Complete an activity. Okay. So you've got like a walkthrough, except it doesn't work. So I'm trying to click on add your first contact, and that's not doing anything. Let's try these other ones. Yeah, none of these buttons are actually doing anything. Let's see if I could close it. Yeah. So that's something to fix. Your sort of onboarding wizard, what have you, is not working. And then you have this carousel of things. What are these features? These are different features. No code workflows. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So as someone jumps in here, like there's a lot going on. It's a feature-rich product, I'm sure. But somebody is coming here because you've piqued their interest in the hero section. They want to get a peek at the product and get a sense for how it works, what it can do. And landing here, there's just a lot going on. It's not immediately clear where to start, what to do first. And so because of that, I would be thinking about how I can simplify this as much as possible, down to the highest priority things that I want the user to do right here. And my whole point in saying that is that I think this feature carousel is ripe for being removed from this page. I don't think, I mean, it's busy. It's calling all the attention, right? Because it's the only thing animating, and like everyone's going to look at this first. I don't think it's offering a ton of value here where it is, because people have already decided, okay, I want to look at the demo. I want to try the product, and that's how I'm going to learn about what it can do. The landing page is where maybe you can like lay out a list of features and let people look at it, but I don't think that's what you want right here. So I would consider removing that. All right. Pro beer one active. Okay. Is this a different language? I'm not sure. So I have English selected here, yet I'm not sure what this is, what language this is. So that looks like a potential bug to address. All right, let's go down. Plus Growth CRM, interactive sales demo, try the CRM, add contacts, create deals, manage your activities, total pipeline, active deals, contacts, companies. Okay. All right, it's a lot to dive into. Let me try going back to the landing page. We built this because we were drowning too. All right. If you are going to introduce yourself and tell your story, I think that's a great thing to do. You should make it very personable. Show yourself, show a picture of yourself, make a video of yourself. Talk about your background and why this was such a huge pain point that you decided to go and solve, to help people understand why you are well situated, well positioned to be solving this problem for them, and build up trust in your ability to do that. So I think it's great that you got a section about the story. I would take it further. What changes? Stop managing your CRM, start closing deals. So yeah, I think this section here, I would really lean into your differentiators. What makes you different than all the other CRM options out there? Do you specialize for a particular type of business or customer? Do you, I think the automation is one of the things you're potentially leaning into. And if that is the main thing, speak to that. Like, what are these problems or pain points that are now resolved for me now that there's this awesome automation that you have built? and I would give concrete examples of that. I think those are the high value things that are going to convince someone to invest more time into this CRM. Okay, I'm going to stop there and move on. I hope this was helpful. All right, it's a GitHub repo, so I'm going to skip it. Here is the next product, the AI agent for YouTubers. Strategist, designer, writer, editor, one chat that critiques your last upload, plans the next, and generates titles. Okay, interesting. I haven't seen something quite like this yet. What are we creating today? Start free, see the gallery. Start free. What is this? Okay, auth wall. I don't want to do that yet. I was kind of hoping I can sample the workflow at least once before signing up and giving my email and all that. Like if I could put in one of my YouTube URLs and get a sense of what I get out of that from the tool, that could potentially convince a user to sign up. Thumbnails people actually click. Okay, so this is generating thumbnails for folks as well. That's cool, and it's great that you're showing a gallery here. It just makes it really clear and compelling. See the gallery. Let's jump to this. All right, so it's a gallery. A lot of untitled stuff. That feels like a bug that all of these say untitled. So let's see. If I click on this one, restaurant food at home. Generation details, art pro, create one like this, more from food and trending. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Like a gallery of what? Like these are thumbnails that, are these just thumbnails that your tool has generated and that's what I'm exploring is the thumbnails, examples of thumbnails? Generate title lab. Okay. Script doctor. Okay, so outside of this Explorer, it looks like everything else is throwing up an auth wall. So let me go back to the landing page. Thumbnails. Okay, so I get that. See Artific in action. A quick walkthrough. Okay, you've got a demo video. Let's watch this. Okay, so there's like a voiceover and it's explaining, it's like setting up the premise for all the roles that you currently fill. Okay, you can't afford a team. What if you had one? So it's like setting up the pitch for this tool. Okay, so it's explaining the thumbnail generation capabilities. You could explain your video and it's going to generate a thumbnail for your video for you based on what is working well out there. Okay, so it's explaining another capability where you could put your video URL in and it's going to, if it's one in particular that has underperformed, and this tool Artific is going to assess and try to tell you why it underperformed based on like title, description, URL. Okay, I think your video is doing a good job of like explaining the value proposition of the product, what it does. It's doing a good job. You might consider having, okay, there's a lot here on the landing page. I was gonna say, you might consider having a text version of that on your landing page, like quickly hitting on the two or three major values or pain points that Artific solves for people. Similar to what the video is showing. The video is doing a great job. Just in case people don't watch the video, I think that that same point that the video is getting across, you might want to have that in sort of text form to quickly, for someone to quickly scan and understand. Upload, critique, generate. This stuff is confusing because it's very busy and it's unclear if this is like interactive demo or like what this is supposed to be, because this feels like it's a real product UI that I'm supposed to click and use, but it's not really. I guess it's just examples. So it's that part's kind of confusing. I would refine that. Let's see. And then some testimonials, simple pricing, 100 credits a month. All right. All right, let me see if I can start for free relatively easily. I'm going to log in with Google, continue. This is taking long. Okay, there we go. Pick your plan, continue free. Almost there. My name, yep. Connect my YouTube channel. Oof. Skip. Oh, I could skip this. Let me skip that. All right, what are we creating today? Ask for a thumbnail. Let me see if I could ask for a thumbnail. Let me go find one of my videos. Now, I don't really do traditional YouTube content. I don't feel that I do. I'm just doing these live product reviews, and that's what goes on my channel. But let me take one of these and see what it does. Okay, I want a better thumbnail for this video. Let's see what it gives back. It's cool that it shows my credits here, 150 out of 150. I thought that the free plan on the other pages said 100 free credits a month, and now here it says 150. I have more, so that's great, but you might want to update the copy on it. Quick setup for want a person in the thumbnail. Yes, use my own face. Which model should I use? Fast, pro, fast. What style? Let AI decide. Generate. Tag a saved persona by typing at in the box or hit plus to upload, then send your request again. Upload asset, add persona. Okay, so I guess I'm supposed to add an image of myself. It would be nice if I can just access my cameras right now and take a picture of my face. All right, let me see. I don't have any images of myself on hand, I don't think. Let me see. Yeah, I don't. Okay. I'm going to stop here. All right, let me see if I can quickly get a picture. Capture devices. Yeah, I don't know. This is just suffering from not having the ability to capture a photo from my camera right now. Otherwise, I would like to try this. So I'm going to end here. I hope this helped. Okay, here's the next product. Send API. One API to send WhatsApp, SMS, and email. WhatsApp, SMS, and email. Okay. 1 second. I need to turn my fan on. It's getting hot. All right. One integration, every channel your users actually use, no carrier contracts, no provider juggling, no deliverability. feature API key, explore docs. Okay. Meeting API response, uptime. One API every messaging channel. Conversational messaging at scale. So WhatsApp, SMS, and email. Intelligence built into the pipeline, automatically detect language, extract intent, and summarizing your back here. Okay. Messaging layer for every team, marketing campaigns, two-factor authentication. Well, I will say that I think the hero text is doing a good job of very quickly explaining what this is, what I would potentially get out of this. So well done there. Let's see, what else? Marketing campaigns. Reach customers with a highly targeted rich media broadcast. Okay. Okay, so you've got this automatic advancing between these sections or between these sections or this carousel. If somebody like actively clicks on a particular section, I would not automatically move to the next one on a timer. That's kind of jarring because if they click, they have intention to like look at this and understand it. So that's one thing. That's one thing I would change. Let's see. And now I'm trying to understand this flash sale, click load, activate your exclusive discount. Is this like what it looks like in WhatsApp if you send a message with this platform? Two-factor auth. Okay, I get that. Order and logistics updates. Yeah, I'm not understanding how you apply this kind of UI you have here to a simple message. Like maybe that's a feature of WhatsApp or something that I'm just not familiar with, but I'm not getting that part. Similar here, like you're sending tracking info, but how do you get this UI from a message? Is that a feature of your platform? Customer support. I like that you're giving use cases here of these are the types of use cases where you would want to use a messaging platform. Um, it's helping me understand like how I can utilize this. What's not yet coming through is the value and benefit of having these three channels kind of integrated under a single API, right? I might be using different providers for each of these things today. Where is like the real unique value of having this consolidated? I'm sure it's in there somewhere, but I would tie that into these example use cases, like really show how having these three integrated under a single API gives you more value in these messaging use cases that you're working on. That would help. Start billing for free, integrate in minutes, not days. Okay, clean REST API with type-safe SDKs, TypeScript, Python to send your message under 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. So it's definitely like developer focused, which is okay. Let's see, frequently asked questions. Your first message is 5 minutes away. Talk to an engineer. Okay. Um, yeah, so I think you're doing a pretty good job here. I think like what this is very clearly articulated. What's missing is just the unique value proposition above alternative options and showing those examples, conveying that. And then on top of that, once you have that in place, it might be nice to give people a really easy way to try it. Like maybe send themselves a marketing SMS or a customer support SMS where they can then engage with the product and kind of see what it's like to be on the receiving end of this system. Yeah, that can be helpful to convince people to invest more time here. All right, I'm going to move on. I hope that was helpful. Here's the next product, Care Spanish. Spanish communication for healthcare teams and professionals. Care Spanish helps individuals and clinics communicate more clearly with Spanish speaking patients without delays or confusion. Okay, great. Your hero text is doing a good job of specifying the pain point and the use case that this tool or product is for. How it does it, I don't yet know, but that's okay. So far, that's clear. Who are you? I'm an individual. I manage a healthcare practice, healthcare worker. Okay. So let's say I'm a worker, individual plan. Okay. Can I go back to how it was before? Let me see. Okay. Built for healthcare environments. Okay. The page is very short. Built for healthcare environments, clinical first, use it on a shift, builds over time. I don't yet see like, how are you achieving this? How are you achieving more clear Spanish communication with my patients? Let's say I'm an individual and I want to understand that. And then you kind of just throw up the price, $20 a month, but I haven't yet seen like what is the specific solution here? Like, how do you go about giving me more clear communication? I haven't seen that yet. And I think you want to show examples of that on this landing page before someone's going to want to pay or sign up. So there's a whole bunch of ways you can do that. I think a demo video here could help. I think just listing out the key high priority features or the way in which you provide more clear communication, that can go a long way. Potentially introducing yourself as the founder and letting your users get to know you and why you came to this problem and decided to solve it and why we should trust you with this solution, that can help. There's just a lot more you could do with this landing page, I think. So if I click, I manage a healthcare practice. Let's see what this is. Practice Solution Center. It's your team. Gives your entire staff the same clinical language foundation. View practice solutions. So this is like education for my staff? Is that what it is? Like this is going to give me tools to help my staff learn Spanish? Is that what it is? I'm just not sure. Okay, I'm an individual. Okay, so as I read here, some of it starts to become more clear potentially. Core clinical Spanish phrases, everyday patient scenarios, AI role play, spaced repetition, flashcards. Okay, so it seems like it's to teach my staff Spanish, but in a specialized way that is for healthcare, which is interesting. Like it's not a general Duolingo, Rosetta, or whatever. It's learning a language, but specialized for healthcare, which makes a lot of sense. I think that's cool. Took me a long time to get to that. So I think this can just be conveyed more clearly. All right, what else can I give feedback on? Sign in, get started. Okay. It'd be nice if there was some example material that I can see as an individual. If I'm considering like signing up or paying for this product, I want to get a sense of, even before I give you my email or sign up, I want to get a sense of what I'm getting. So like show some example clinical Spanish phrases, show some example patient scenarios that I can look through. Let me sample the AI role play for a couple minutes or something, or just look at an example conversation of the role play back and forth. Let me see the flashcards, all that stuff. Like just kind of show me what the product is, and that's going to be a compelling way to get people to decide if they want to pay. I manage. Okay, see all plans. Okay. So yeah, once I went to that, let's see all plans. Here is, I think, even more features potentially than I've seen thus far on the landing page. You've got a FAQ, which you may as well throw this on the main landing page already, or you may as well throw this on the landing page because it was really hard. Not hard, but like this page I'm on right now is buried. Um, you know, most people won't end up coming here. And so if you have critical information on this page that you want more people to see, I would consider surfacing it in the main landing page. Sign in, register, about Care Spanish. Okay. Um, so this is something I would just throw in line with the landing page. Probably a shorter version of it. I would talk about yourself a little bit. Like I said, let us get to know you, understand why you decided to build this, and let us build up trust in you as a founder. Built for clinicians, made with purpose. Okay, let's see. Contact, pricing. Cool. All right. I'm going to stop here. I hope this was helpful. Okay, is this a GitHub repo? It's a GitHub repo, so I have to skip this one. All right, seamless CV, you're qualified, so why no callbacks? You spent hours on that application, you were a perfect fit, 2 weeks of silence, then a rejection email you didn't deserve. Okay. Um, it's related to resumes. Let's see, ATS match score for the exact job. I don't know what ATS is. Check your ATS score free. Maybe that's, I doubt that's like a super well-known acronym. Um, I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of people that know what ATS is, and I'm just out of the loop here. But what I mean to say is there's going to be a whole lot of people that land here and don't know what ATS is as well. So you may as well just spell it out and say exactly what this is. Every missing keyword the ATS is scanning for. Weak bullet points flagged. Check your ATS score. So this is like giving me a score on my resume, or maybe how well my resume positions me for a particular job description. Maybe that's what it's doing. Watch AI rewrite your resume in seconds. Okay. It's going to rewrite my resume and tailor it for a specific job. It's what I'm gathering. You got a video here, which is great. 16 seconds, nice and short. And it's just showing one-click optimize. Okay, so the video seems to be showing like a live demo of the product, taking a resume as input and showing the refinements that have been suggested on that resume. Okay, that's cool. I think the other thing you could do here is just show examples of before and after for particular resumes. Like here was a given resume input. Here's the refined version of that. Show a few examples so someone here can see side by side about, they can see how much better a given resume is or how much stronger it comes off as a result of this tool. That would be a compelling way to get people to want to sign up and pay to use this tool potentially. 75% of resumes are auto-rejected. 6 time a recruiter spends on a resume. 98% of Fortune 500 companies use ATS to filter you out first. Okay, so it sounds like ATS is some industry thing that like maybe people that are recruiting or in a hiring department know what this is. But yeah, not like your general person just applying for a job may not know what that is. The rejection happened before anyone read a single word. When you apply on LinkedIn to your company portal, your resume doesn't go to a recruiter, it goes to software applicant tracking system. Okay, that's what ATS is. Scans your resume, compares it against a job description, and assigns a score. If your score is below the threshold, okay, so this is pretty compelling, this problem here, because I hadn't really considered that this is going on behind the scenes. I think this is the most compelling thing thus far. And you should find a way to make your hero section land this point with people. The fact that when you submit a resume, it's going through an automated system and assigning you a score and potentially rejecting you. This tool ensures you have a high score. like, I think it's as simple as that. That's very compelling. And that's like, of course, I want to use this tool because it seems easy enough to just help me ensure my automated score is going to meet that threshold and I'm going to get into a recruiter's hands. So this is like the most compelling piece of the landing page. I think it needs to be distill the essence of this point here and get your hero section to convey this. That would be my recommendation. Same person, same experience, 59-point difference. Okay, so here you're starting to show a sort of side-by-side example. But I think, let's see, let me look at this more. Yeah, I think for the real example, you kind of need to show the full resume, like the full source input and then the full output alongside these, because this is kind of a summarization of findings and changes, which is good, but like to wrap your head around it, you kind of need to see the full thing, I feel. All right. Why your resume is getting rejected. Exact words don't match. Okay. And so now you're starting to show sort of, you're going deeper into how this tool is able to increase the ATS, the score, which is good. Um, which of these apply to your resume? Diagnose my resume free. Find your exact rejection reason. Career change from ops applied to 34 roles. What is this percentage? In this testimonial section, I'm not sure what this like percentage range is. That's not clear. I would consider removing that or clarifying what it is. Cool. I think you've done a really good job here. I think this is a valuable tool solving a real problem. Nice work so far. I hope that was helpful. I am going to stop here and end the session. All right. Thanks, everyone. See ya.